Newhall Watermill, Warmley, Sutton Coalfields. External toilet to Miller's Cottage. Refurbishment and structural repairs carried out by the friends of the mill as follows. Following various discussions, it was decided that the toilet would require upgrading, but firstly to address the water ingress problem visible on the surface of the rear wall and floor. Also damp generally, and being mindful that the mill pond wall, which is approximately 4 metres from the toilet wall, could contribute to the water ingress problems. On the high level above the toilet, we found that the existing gully that was taking all the rainwater from the rear side of the main mill roof was split, and the water was soaking into the ground adjacent to the toilet. We removed the gully and piped the water to the mill pond. The gully is not required as the pipe is open-ended. We then fitted lead flashings with the toilet wall abutted the mill wall, as there was an opening joint between the both walls. Next stage of the investigation, it was found that the rear and part of the gable wall on the external side of the toilet was covered with earth. We started by excavating the earth from the gable end. We then discovered that the wall was in a poor condition and required rebuilding. We also exposed a paved area with a part-built brick wall from a past era. We then proceeded to underpin and rebuild the existing gable wall, firstly by installing a steel prop to enable us to rebuild the corner of the toilet wall. This was left over the weekend to allow curing time for the mortar to set. We then repositioned the propping to enable us to demolish the defective brick on the gable. As we were progressing with the work, we discovered that part of the inner skin wall was also defective. We did some temporary packing, as we will have to repair this at a later date from inside the toilet. We also discovered that the other external corner at lower level required part rebuilding, as you will see in the upcoming video. We've just taken down the outer skin that was crumbling. You'll probably see it in earlier pictures. And this is what we're finding on the inner skin now. Yeah, we built that corner last week. We left it, it's got to be toothed out. Anyway, and I'm going to move over here, picture from the other angle. Yeah, we put that prop in and took this bit that was protruding, if you remember, it was protruding outside the other. And then in there, there's something like metal in there propping the wall up, some very loose mortar on top of it. But we're still investigating to see the best way forward with it. And that was when we built last week we built that corner, so we've got the corner supported. And now over on the other side, down below, we discovered on the other corner, inner corner, there's no support under that wall, under that end brick whatsoever. Although around the back the wall looks reasonable for what we can see of it. There's a drain in there. We're not sure, we're investigating what that's made of. Yeah. We then installed a damp-proof membrane and proceeded to rebuild the wall using the existing reclaimed bricks. As the work proceeds, we captured the rebuild with videos. And this one I've got a hell of a lot of debris on it. Just to say, we got the damp in and we got the first course on top of it. And we repointed the inner skin, the bit that's staying in anyhow down below. Yeah. So it's starting to take shape anyhow. What do you reckon, Dave? That looks alright, but we'll have to take out this bit. This is very raggy, isn't it? That'll have to come out from the inner skin, from the inner side.
Yes, that part is quite bad. But no, I think that first course is going in the right direction. I see your point about working the levels through, but I think that's you know.
Right, we got 3 course on today, and we we put in the brick ties to connect the inner skin, because at a later date we've got to go on the other side and take that bottom dark stuff out, as you can see, the slate and whatever, and rebuild the inner skin. Those ties will keep that course in place. Yeah. Yeah. David was going to say something about it, but he's gone off to hoist the wheelbarrow out. Yeah. Taking shape, so you get the bigger picture. There's an air brake Trevor put in some time ago to vent the roof space. That'll do for now. Right, it's up and running. Today's offering. What does Dave think of it?
Well, it's coming on. It's coming on very, very well.
Yeah,
very well. We're having to take care now to get the line of it right, but it's coming on very, very well.
Yeah. And mention that far corner. It looks like we're going to have to rebuild that.
Yes, I think the error has cropped up as a result of the piece of the back corner that is
that's right,
corbelled outwards badly.
Yeah, to get this to line in with existing, we had to sort of start fiddling it, because this corner's slightly, I don't know if you could see it or not, slightly out of plumb. Anyway, we've got 3 course on today, and a bit of pointing up to be done later on when the mortar dries up. David's going to do that. Yeah. Yeah. It's running now, Dave. Yeah, right. We finally got up to meet the existing brickwork, and we should be fit to take the prop out next week, because Dave's going to point this last couple of joints later on today when it's settled down and the mortar's gone off a bit, and using slate and mortar he's going to pack that out right up to the point here. So we just set that loose brick in there. You go in there, Dave, and put your finger on it. But we set in the, you just say that one and this one, the 2 dry brick, we just set them in dry for now, so we got the gauge. And then following on, like we said the last time, as Dave's pointing out now, point on that brick. You see where that brick's coming out there, farther along there, see there, that one, that offending brick. Yeah. So we'll get the acro prop out next Thursday and strip out that corner, and hopefully we should be fit to complete it next week. Yeah, and then move inside and start that. Right, I'll just walk up here and take a shot from up above. I think the still, I mean, you're saying that's all right, it's as good as the still, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. It's blended in quite well, isn't it, Dave?
Yes, it's blended back into the line of that existing wall that we're leaving in place.
That's right, yeah.
Can't grumble at that now.
Yeah. We're trying to keep it the same as the brickwork above, but we couldn't get it that bad. We then repaired the inner skin of the toilet wall. Also, we touched on the external reclaimed paving, also what the finished works may look like. Right, we've stripped out the inner skin of the toilet wall, and in the process of what we discussed earlier, there's these 2 lumps of metal within the wall. Yeah. I said they're a bedhead, but Dave says they're not. No. They're just two bits of metal, you know. It must have been at hand whenever he packed that out. nothing unusual, it's just... There's about 3 courts to go back in. So we'll get crack on now. Right, David and myself has made a bit more progress. The wall's built and completed. Now just have a look inside the toilet. That's been completed. It's drying out well. Oh Lord, don't look too bad actually. So anyway, go around here in the corner. So we've reduced the ground, exposed the remaining area of this paving. Yeah. The wall's still there, but looking at it anyhow, we've discovered the ivory's gone all the way through it, so you couldn't repoint it if you did want to keep it. Yeah, yeah. So I'll go up round here now and have a look. We shaped the ground anyhow because we had to keep it at that, so to maintain access to the gate, you know. So whether we rebuild part of that wall or not down there up to a common level, or take it down and just grade the ground on down. Be safer to do that, I think. You know, if the ground was brought on down, they'd not create something for somebody to step off.
Yes, ideally that would be the smoothest way to finish it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, to grade her down. It's not doing this video's not doing her justice. We didn't get round the bike there at all, so I'll not mention that, but you can see the water still building up. It's still, see it's still seeping in out of the ground. Yeah.
To see how the engineers are doing.
At the same time, other friends started work on the internal elements of the toilet by removing the ceiling and replacing defective ceiling joists and replacing ceiling board with insulation above. Also fitting air vents and ceiling and gable walls above ceiling level. Following the plastering of the ceiling, the preparations and decorations proceeds. On the completion of the rebuilding of the lower part of the gable wall, we then turned our attention to the external side of the rear toilet wall. We excavated to remove the earth that was against the toilet wall up to a point where support work was required, as we were about to remove earth from under the base of the fire escape staircase, as the stair base was cast onto the bike fill against the toilet wall. Following the installation of the support steel to the fire escape staircase base, as shown on this drawing, we carefully excavated along the rear of the toilet wall to a point where we came across the culvert wall, which was at the far end of the toilet wall. The culvert wall was extremely wet. This water is the result of a leak from the mill pond, which is approximately 4 metres from the toilet wall. On completion of the excavation, we then installed a 100mm drain surrounded in concrete below the line of the base of the fire escape staircase to divert the water away from the toilet wall. We then installed a sheet of 75mm polystyrene against the toilet wall to ensure that no earth could come in contact with the brick wall, and also to act as a form of damp-proof membrane. We then proceeded to build a stone retaining wall backed up with concrete up to the underside of the fire escape staircase and dry pack on completion to ensure the stair base had full support. This was done in stages to allow curing time. We then set about building a brick retaining wall to support the surrounding ground and adjacent bank that part supported the fire escape staircase, and to create a clear space around the toilet wall to eliminate any further possible damp issues as the retaining wall was being constructed. We made good to the reclaimed paved area and installed a fence to enclose the toilet area, also to create a plant bed for shrubs. The toilet has been, following decoratings, fitted out with new close-coupled toilet pan and cistern with water heater over existing hand basin, also soap dispenser, towel dispenser, grub rail and new legging to all exposed pipework.